Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that probably is always relevant, but there's certain inflection points in kind of earth that this pops up a little bit more. And that is now the time for you to own a franchise? So we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. Folks, it's probably not. Wait, really? The guy with the franchise podcast is telling you maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, and it's probably not, but not for the reasons that you think. We're going to talk more about that here in a second. First, quick reminder of who we are. Fran Coach is the premier franchise consulting company focused on education. Our number one goal, we are not here to sell you anything. Our goal is to help educate you properly on franchise ownership to determine if you should own one. And I've already kind of teased it. You probably shouldn't, but maybe you should. And if so, our goal is then to help you find your absolute best franchise to own. We're partnered with well over 600 franchises in about 70 different industries, tons of things out there. We're going to help you figure that out once we determine if you should own one. So now, should you? And is now the right time? Look at all the things that are going on, like the tariffs and all of the crazy that has going on. The stock market. I know my portfolio has lost some money over the last month or so. So it's a thing that is coming up now often for people with this. But this is why I said there's certain inflection points just in like our existence as a country, as a planet that will come up. We had, gosh, it's been 5 years ago, we had the pandemic, right? 2008, we had that whole thing, right? We don't know what's next. Maybe next is locust. Who knows what's next? But there's always going to be something big. Do I have the slightest concerns that the tariffs or what's going on in the market are going to hurt franchising as a whole? Just absolutely not, right? Because franchising is the thing that it's the little engine that could, or the old, like, I don't know how many analogies I can use all at once. Like, it's the Timex, keeps a licking, keeps on ticking, right? So because everything that has happened over the past, it has happened to just continue to move forward. And especially when you think of like the tariff stuff, one, it's not going to last, people, right? This is going to be a quick thing. The market does not always go up. Sometimes it goes down. When it goes down, in some ways, can really make people think about this from a different standpoint of franchise ownership as a way to control your money. It is your investment, whether you're using your own money, anything from a retirement, but some of your money is going into this. And now you are in control of what that looks like moving forward. There's the ups and downs. Every business is going to have those. And as a franchise owner, you will, right? There's going to be some bad days or months or whatever, but you're in control over that. There ain't none of us in control of the stock market or what's going on in Washington, right? But we can control our little component of the world, right? So when you think of is now the right time, and why I said at the beginning, it's probably not. That seems like an odd thing for somebody in my role to say, but almost everybody out there should not ever own a business of any kind, franchise or otherwise. And that's okay. So again, it's why I always come back to our number one goal is to properly educate you on whether or not you should own one. Not to try to convince you into it, not to sell you into something. And there are people in this industry that will do exactly that. Okay. So, is now the right time? Only you can answer that, right? Not anybody on TV, not your friends, not your neighbors, not your family, not your dog. No one can figure that out but you. Now, we're going to help you determine it by properly educating you. But you're the most important thing in all of this. When it is your time and it is the right thing, that's why we say the most important thing is you, because we got to figure out what you want to do every day as a franchise owner. There is nothing, and I mean nothing more important than your role. Okay. But before we ever get to there is the why, right? Why do you want to do this? How can this benefit you, your family, make your life better? There are parts of owning a franchise, even the best ones ever. Like sometimes it does make things worse. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, right? So there's going to be challenges and difficulties and like, what's going to hit the fan from time to time. But understanding why you want this, where's your pain and how it can make it better, right? So why I always say this is up to you and maybe it's not the right time because we can find an excuse to do things or not do things so stinking easily, right? I can justify like buying anything. I can justify, well, I don't want to do that because it's going to cost this, right? I've got, and I'll give you a couple of examples. Somebody I know is trying to like not even a franchise, just a business, like kind of like a side hustle thing that they want to do. And they need about 15 grand for this. And just can't do it. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I can get 15,000. It's so much, but I really hate my job, but it's so much, right? It's 15 grand. Like, I don't want to say that's completely insignificant, but if you wanted something bad enough, you would figure that out. Now, the exact same person is just finishing up like a long weekend with family in San Diego that also involved a trip to Universal. They are this summer going on a cruise, going to Disney, and going to Barbados for a week. Really? 15 grand, right? Just say you don't want to do it, or there's too much risk or too much fear in having that business opportunity, because it is all on you, right? Again, it is you with this. We can sit here and we can think we want that, but not everybody does. Most people aren't cut out for business ownership. Don't say it's the 15 grand, right? The flip is we have two people for Team Frame Coach right now that we're working with. One just signed a franchise agreement. One's about to. At the very end, I don't mean like, Fran Coach's first call with them. I mean, they've gone through the whole process, meet the team day, right at the very end, and two different clients of ours found out that they were pregnant at the end. That's a pretty good reason to go, hey, maybe this isn't the right time. Both of them, without hesitation, this is the time. Here's all the reasons why we want to. This actually even adds to it, right? Control over their life, their freedom, their flexibility. Because for both of them, it's baby number one. Now, bless their hearts, they have no idea what they're getting themselves into with this, but it was still the determination of why. So could that have been like, I think most people could have looked at that as a pretty reasonable excuse or reason to not move forward, but it validated their whys and nothing was going to deter them from this, right? There's no crystal ball. So anybody in franchising is like, oh, this person's going to be a great owner. We're full of crap. We don't know, right? And so there are other times, I don't know about this person, and then they end up killing it. Well, why? Because of that person, right? They've got to have their whys. And again, this is not a bad idea for you guys even listening. You're like, hey, should we get on the phone with these jokers at Frame Coach? Literally write down why. And I tell our clients towards the end of the process, excuse me, because you're going to get a little fear towards the end. Why, right? Don't just say it and like rattle it around in your head. Literally write it down. Don't type it, write it. There's something powerful about that. Why do you want to do this? And so then you can have that. And if those whys aren't compelling enough and strong enough, then, well, yeah, like my wife is pregnant. That seems like a big deal. Or in one case, it was the spouse, and one she was going to be the owner, and she just found out she's pregnant. That could be a big thing until you look at those whys. I'm like, no, these whys outweigh this, right? Oh, I need 15 grand. I couldn't possibly get the 15 grand. Oh my gosh, it's so awful. Da, 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 da. Yet I'm doing all of these other things. Well, what's more important? These other things, and I'll just keep my crappy job. That's okay. So whatever's going on in the world outside of your existence, you have to kind of block it out. You will always have people telling you, no way in the world should you own a franchise. oh, these things always fail. It's terrible. You're going to work 100 hours a week. Right? Or don't do that one. Oh my gosh, you know how much competition there is? Like I just nails on a chalkboard competition, right? Then don't do it, right? If you're looking for a reason to not be a franchise owner, there's thousands of them, and I'll just tell you, just don't even start. And especially if you can't take the time to write down your whys, because you are the most important thing in here. Are there things in your life, personally and professionally, that you wish were better? Can franchise ownership give you the control over it? Do you really want the control over it? We can all sit here, we can all armchair quarterback. Dang, coach, what the heck were you doing calling that play? Do you really want to call the play? Do you really want the ball in your hands? If so, then the hell with the tariffs and the stock market and unemployment and this and pandemic and locust and all of the things. And oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. Well, not me, but look, well, hopefully not. Danielle, please tell me you're not pregnant. So whatever it is, do you want, like, it's the old, like kind of sports cliche, right? Oh, they just wanted it more. Like, come on, like maybe, but you do have to want it, but you have to know your why. If you don't have your why, the first thing that something goes wrong, you're gonna bail, right, on it. So really understand that. So is now the right time? It's really probably not, and not because of what's going on, but maybe it's just not the right thing for you. Your whys aren't strong enough for this. There's not enough pain in your current situation to make any sort of change. Not everybody can have the vision long term, even if you love your job, right? Having something that semi-absentee franchise creates secondary revenue streams, right? How much is that freedom and flexibility worth to you long term? Frankly, how much is money worth to you long term? I saw a stat the other day. We actually talked about it on our TV show. It's like 80% of millionaires are entrepreneurs. So there's, yes, you can get there as an employee, but it's really challenging and really difficult to do that. And when you think of that, the last thing I always want to talk about we just talked last week about buying a job, which is also kind of that nails on chalkboard thing. Because you're buying a job. You're buying your ideal dream job that you are completely in control of, and you get to sell at the end. I'm pretty sure that's better than the one you currently have that somebody pays you for now. So is this the right time? It's probably not, and it may never be the right time. But if you're curious about it, if you can sit there and write down some whys as to why you might want this, how this could maybe make things better for you and your family, then yeah, let's talk. It may still not be, but that's enough of an itch that we need to kind of scratch it, so to speak, with that. And again, do so in a way that you are focused on getting yourself educated, not sold. That's going to help you truly determine if this is the right path for you. And maybe it is. And again, it does give you the control. It can answer all of those whys. It can solve some of the pain. It's going to cause a little bit more because, again, not all rainbows and unicorns, folks, is going to be hard work. There's going to be some things that go wrong, but you're in control over it. So that's a little bit on this. Quick reminder, if you want to catch up with us, brandcoach.net. There's never ever any fee for our service, so we can help you. Check us out on social. I've been reminded numerous times, and I keep forgetting. If you're not already subscribed to wherever you're listening to this podcast, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. All of those places, we're here for you. If you're a reader, it'd be great if I had that within my arm's reach. We'll just pop up a little picture right there. But brand new book, Becoming a Franchise Owner. Check that out also. And please, like, maybe a little 5-star review. I will 100% shamelessly beg for that. But we're here to help you at Fran Coach. We're going to get you properly educated on franchise ownership, so you know if this is the path for you. If so, finding your best thing is easy. That's what we're here to do. Reach out to us, francoach.net. Until then, we will see you next week on the Franchising 101 podcast. Thanks for tuning in.